Start the clock.
Good afternoon. At the tone, time will be
Real time.
Welcome to another episode of Supercoach Round 50K. Nick Ness here with you for another week. Happy Easter to everyone out there. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Supercoach wise, Primos down, not a lot of high scores. We finished with just under 2,000, 2 points shy, which is okay, slightly above par, and we keep moving up the rankings, crawling our way to 13,506. Made a couple trades this week. Did they go okay? Marshall in for Setterfield, and we've done something a little bit drastic. We've taken out Goldie for O'Brien. We'll call him Rob down at the Big Footy forums for Rob. The logic behind it was basically that if he can average 80 and Goldie's averaging 100 and we can get 400k in the kitty to play with, let's do it. I kind of knew Marshall was going to have a down game just because he was going up against Gawn. But hopefully going forward, he can average around 92 and be a D6. So how did everyone else go? None of your scores down in the bottom. I know in our league, me and Jonathan had a really good game. It was a really close game. He's Lucky Gibbons played a blinder, and he just beat me by a few points. So he's doing well this year. He's close to being in the top 1,000. So congrats to him. With that said, let's take a look at the team. Okay, so starting with defense, as usual, Lucky sort of down, probably unlucky to only get 86. He had a lot of the ball. I think he scored over 100 in Dream Team. Lloyd as good as ever. Williams played a really good game, actually, 91. Lovely. Smith as well. So that defense is looking pretty solid. Scrimshaw 63 and Duzma 64. Left 30 points on the bench there by not playing Howe or Hoare. It just comes down to luck, really. It was close between playing him or Duzma. I just thought Hoare was going to be more accountable down back with McDonald out. Didn't turn out that way. What are you going to do? Clark, he's almost ready to get traded out and cashed in at this point. I don't think he's going to make too much more money. Other defenders that are looking really good for those two spots that I have available. Hearn's looking like a top 3 defender, and Sicily. Like to get them in sooner rather than later. With Hearn, he had a break even at 60, so he's set to go up a bit in price. So if you don't bring him in the next couple of weeks, he's one that's going to shoot up to that 600k mark. But I might have other issues in my team before my backline. We'll see how we go. But we've got all the right rookies in and making money, which is the thing you really want to have at the moment. Cripps, again, Mr. Consistent, 110. Killed it in that first half too. He had 25 plus touches, and he was only on like a 65. I thought he got a bit ripped off by the people at Champions Data. McRae was a bit down, his output. What's his average now? 121, still pretty nice. Oliver, finally, over 100. These Melbourne's just struggling in general. Hopefully, on the quick backup against Richmond, they can go okay. Brayshaw, 82. I thought he was a bit stiff there as well. Thought he played better than that. Libba, Mr. Consistent, 98. Lovely. Crouch crawled his way to 100. Welsh is the best rookie ever in the game. It really is. Or close to 100 average already. I think there's no other rookie that started the first 5 games with over 25 touches a game. He's the first, and he's a gun. Just love watching him play, and it's his first year. He's only going to get better, which is great. Constable's out, so a lot of people were forced to play Gibbons, Stack, Scott. A lot of people would have emergency Scott and had a free look at him like I did. Stack, really good 80. He was in the bubble last week. He's going to set to earn a lot of cash. He should go up. He has gone up 75k. That's real nice. If you missed out on him, that's a bit too bad. Hopefully you got one of him or Rob. If you didn't, you're going to sort of be in trouble as far as generating cash goes. The Rucks, Gawn, 126. And as I said, I've taken a bit of a risk. If I had Gorn and Grundy, I'd never do it because they're the two end game ruckmen. But I did have Goldie, and the plan was always to get Grundy in. So my logic behind it was rather than have O'Brien on the bench wasting away, let's get him in. Hopefully he averages 20 less, 15 less, 10 less than Goldie. We've got 400k in the bank to play with, and we can improve that forward line. And then once his buy is finished, get Grundy in. So that's our plan, and hopefully Grundy doesn't burn us in the meantime. But O'Brien looked really good, and he's another one. How much did he earn? Close to 85k. So if he averages 85, he's making 250k up until his buy. It's really nice money making cash cow. So hopefully you got one of him all stack. There's a few options coming up this week too, and we'll get into them at the end. Dangerfield, 127, slow start. Probably lucky to get that, but that's fine. Haney, consistent, 98. And Kelly, welcome back, Kelly. He was horrible last week, carrying around an ankle injury and getting tagged by the ball. This week, left to roam around, 129, couple goals. I still think he jogs around a bit too much and doesn't lay tackles, but you can't complain when he scores like that. Well, this is the big if. Like Marshall scored 50, but we sort of knew that was going to happen. He did go up another 25k in price because he had a break in at even a 10. So that was the reason for getting him in, even though we knew he was going to struggle this week. Obviously, we were expecting more than 50. 70 would have been nice. But him and Rob or O'Brien play each other this week in the ruck, which is going to be nice. So hopefully they can both sort of kill it in between each other, which would be nice, and score 90 plus each. Hopefully he turns out to be a D6. If he doesn't, we'll flick him off for a profit in a couple of weeks. But we are really getting into a dangerous stage of running out of trades. And so everyone that we bring in from now on really has to be a keeper for the end of the year, or it's a culling for cash. Drew turned up again. He's been a great forward rookie, and there haven't been many of them. Parker, 51, disappointing, especially when we got Petrarca here on 100. Ripped that out of his ass. And what are you going to do? As I said again, these rookie decisions, a lot of it just comes down to luck. And also, the reason I wanted Marshall in was I didn't want to have to play Petrarca on field, and then he scores 100. Breaks your heart. What can you do? Finally, Bolter scores a 49 and makes his break even. Finally. That's a great score for him. He now has a big average of 28. Okay, so who's in the bubble? Who should we be looking in to generate cash? And who are the forward and midfield options that we should be looking to bring in? We've already gone over the defenders with Hearn and Sicily. If you don't have Whitfield and Lloyd, they're the four that you'd be looking to bring in. Let's go forward line. Walters. Do we really want to bring him in after we trade him out after round 2? After Ross Lyon was paying him 90% time in the forward line. Gutted about that, but Kelly's been good except for last week where he was carrying an injury. So we'll call that a wash. Billings, he's looking good. He burned a lot of people last year. I was going to stay away, but he's looking good. Forward options. Lance Franklin, someone that's averaged close to 100 the last 9 years, over 100 the last 9 years. Really struggling this year. Got an average of 45. He keeps dropping down in price. He's definitely one that could really fall to a really cheap price and just kick off at the end of the year. But I'd stay away for now, I think. Boak is someone that looks the real deal. But he's topped out at his top price now. Scored a sub 100. Will hopefully go down. I'm just trying to think who are going to be these top 6 forwards. So we've got Dangerfield, Haney, Kelly, Boak, and then there's probably question marks. Billings, Warple played good today. If you started with him, well done. Walters, all sort of fighting it out there. And in the midfield, I'm going to stay away from Lockie Neal just because of his price point. If you have him and started with him, it's great. But I'll be more looking to Fife, who's set to drop in price the next couple of weeks. Had a break even of 60, scored 100, so his break even is going to be high again this week, 160 this week. And Jelly, Kelly from GWS is someone that I'll be looking to have in. He had a break even of 140, scored 100. So they'll both have high break evens this week, and you sort of hopefully they don't go off and They're the two that I'll be looking to get in for around that 540 mark, hopefully. Should be nice. So with that said, yeah, it's not too disappointing. I think we're on track. The rookies that are going to be coming, that are on the bubble this week, 2 from Richmond, and they play on Wednesday. So have to make a decision on them fast. One of them being Ross. For me personally, I don't think he's going to keep his spot in the team. Cochin will come in for him, so I don't want to bring him in. And Baker is a forward option at 160 who scored, he's averaging basically 90 over 2 games. He's someone that I do want to bring in. It'd be him coming in for Parker, basically, banking cash. And on the flip side, on the defense, I want to get rid of Clark. And Lockhart from Melbourne is set to come back in. 102 defender, has already played 2 games. Don't expect him to score high, but it's basically a cash out for someone that's going to get games. And there aren't a lot of defensive rookies coming up. So now would be the opportunity to do it, which would give me a big bang. So trading those 2 players, basically, do the math quickly. You're looking at like 450k banked to sort of make upgrades. It's going to be nice. So yeah, short week this week. Basically, games start Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Been crazy. So I hope everyone's done well. I hope you're making the right trades, got the right rookies in, and we'll see you guys next week. Be sure, if you're a first-time watcher, to subscribe to the channel and leave a like, please. Helps the channel grow. We'll see you next week.